so sad. Cooking. Hi, my special ones. Hi. I'm really happy to be here with you guys today. I mean, earlier today I was really sad, but I just really thought, oh, I'll come and talk to my special ones, and it would cheer me up, and it has already cheered me up. So thank you for watching. So the other day I went to see a friend of mine, and she was instructing her help to cook. And then she went into the kitchen, and I could hear her admonishing the help, saying, you don't use onions when you're making, I forget the dish, but you don't use onions when you're making this thing. It's not right. When you're making this, these are the ingredients. I've been telling you, I've been teaching you. You don't want to learn how to cook properly. And that got me thinking at the phrase cook properly. Now, we often have this mathematical formula approach to cooking, where it's like, if you want to make moi moi, it's beans, pepper, that. If you want to make oha soup, it's oha leaf, ogiri. Like, we have a very formulaic approach to it. But I don't believe cooking is meant to be that way. I believe cooking is all about creativity. We should mix things up. There is no right or wrong way to make a dish, because don't forget that cooking is also about individual preferences, and we all have different things that appeal to our taste buds. And I understand that if you're cooking for like in a restaurant for mass market, there's like a particular taste of what people expect, so you probably want to do that. I get that part. But let's also go a bit higher up in the cooking industry and look at like big time chefs, right? So big time chefs are not paid top dollar to keep on replicating those same formulaic recipes of tomato, pepper, this, that is equal to stew. They are actually paid that amount of money to be creative. So you do hear, oh, the chef came up with this new recipe, a la carte, and you hear these kind of words being thrown at you at restaurants, and that's because it's all about mixing it up. So for example, maybe a chef might say, oh, I use cinnamon to make a donut, so it's a cinnamon donut, and that becomes like the flagship thing of the store. You know what I mean? So cooking should be more about creativity than a formulaic approach. And I get that some people like what they like, and maybe you're just so used to a dish tasting a certain way. But the problem I have is with just that blocked mindset, where you can't even conceive of even thinking of putting onions in bitter leaf soup, where maybe I tell you, oh, I use onions in my bitter leaf, and you're like, ew, I can't use onions in your bitter leaf. But that's, like, just that you can't even think about it. And I think you're actually denying yourself so much pleasures out there, because if you get more experimental with your recipes, you discover that there are some things that you actually like that you never knew you liked, because you need to experiment to know what you like. So we're just so used to the way our mothers prepared it, how our grandmothers taught them and they taught us, that we don't leave any room to say, what if I switch it up and do this? And you might just like it, you know what I mean? And I've already said it, that at the highest level of the cooking industry, chefs are actually paid for creativity more than anything else. Now, in talking about switching things up and changing our dishes to make them more interesting, because I know we're at home a lot cooking, so this might be a good time to just experiment. I want to talk about spices. Now, in Nigeria, when we mention spices, most people assume we're talking about curry, thyme, nutmeg. That's spice in Nigeria. But there are like probably, I dare say, over 500,000 spices out there in the world today. We just don't experiment enough to know and get to know these spices. I'm so sorry. You know what I mean? So like, there's so many spices out there that we can actually try, and with just one switch up of a spice in the meal tastes completely different. So you can excite your taste buds and keep it fresh every single time. It's tomato stew, but every time you make it, it's a different taste. Like, come on, boredom be gone. And most importantly, don't forget that herbs and spices is what used to be medicine before the pharmaceutical industry came and started crushing them up and putting them in capsules and pills that we swallow. So even for your health, it's really good if you try, if you incorporate more herbs and spices into your meals. It will really boost your immune system and gives you all kind of minerals and vitamins in excess. Now, if you're in Lagos and you're wondering, oh, where can I get all these fantastic spices? I would say, or in Nigeria, not just Lagos, I would say one of the best places to check out for spices would be Indian supermarkets, because Indians are really, really big on spices. I'm going to give you a list of some of the ones I've tried. I'm not going to break all of them down, but just to show you just how many spices are out there. These are the ones that I have tried, that I know of. There's so many more out there. So on my list here, listen carefully. I have cardamom, fennel, turmeric, flax seeds, basil, which Igbo people call scent leaf, oregano, anise, mustard, chives, sage, cumin, clove, rosemary, fenugreek, nigella, bay leaves, caraway, parsley flakes, marjoram, mint, coriander, paprika, cinnamon. And these are just the ones that I have tried and I personally like. So check out Indian supermarkets. Things like turmeric, you can actually find those ones in the local market. And turmeric is actually super, super, super healthy. Of all the spices, I think I'd recommend that one as number one to always incorporate in your meals. So yeah, get more creative. Let that stock mentality of, meals having fixed recipes be gone. Get exciting, go out there, try new things. Like I said, you never know what you would like until you try it. And most importantly, herbs and spices are very medicinal. My grandfather, my maternal grandfather, was a herbalist, a very successful one at that. And in the village where they all grew up, midwives and pregnant women and anybody who was sick would always go to him, and he would go to his backyard and pluck different leaves and crush different spices and mix it up and boil them, and people would drink, and that's how he made a livelihood, and he was very successful at it. So don't frown at these things, because like I said, most of the pills and tablets that you're swallowing, that's what's in it. So why not just go straight to the source and fortify your system so much that you wouldn't really need that? I'm not saying you never fall sick, but you will see a huge difference in your health as you begin to take these things more. Another very good spice I recommend, or herb, depending on where you classify it, is moringa. Boil it or chew the leaves. It really, really boosts your immune system, especially now that we're in these COVID-19 times, and that's my success. Don't forget to practice your empathy. Empathy means what you don't want someone to do to you, do not do it to another person. Always, 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 please practice your empathy. Practice your empathy so much that it becomes second nature to you, and that you just approach every problem and every situation with compassion, understanding, and an open mind. And speaking of open minds, open your mind to the possibilities of what you can unravel in the kitchen. Good luck with it, and always remember that I love you.